SIM card in this
only allows you to keep your
SIM card in this foldable phone.
I'll throw the links up in the description.
Just the way that you're able to flip it open and
by clicking the links in the description.
Did you feel that? I know, right? And now watch this.
Has been a headline
Just
By clicking
meters of water for meters of water for 30 minutes immersion. Clean water, not Coca-Cola.
chemistry. But we have, the way
out. Oh boy, do we got something else crazy for you today. We've seen all these foldable devices and we hear about the new iPad mini that's coming out. And then, designs like this come out. And they're coming out because of what we're seeing already from the Galaxy Fold and the TCL phone and the Huawei Mate X. Of course, concept people are going to come together and start making iPhone concepts. And this is no different. This, though, I don't know, man. Would you like to have an iPad mini that you could fold in half and then just use as a phone? I mean, granted, on this candy bar screen, you're not going to get much done. It's not like you're going to be typing out stuff like that with this big, long Hershey bar looking thing. You know what I'm saying? But if your iPad, and I've done this before, I've used an iPad mini as a primary phone for a few months back in the day. It hasn't been like iPad mini 3 days. But would this interest you? I mean, I like this kind of concept where you could fold it, go back sideways with it and fold it up. That's kind of cool. If you're an Apple user, and there's some people in the community, I'm talking to you, Ashley, from Wired Wednesday, that don't like change. Do you think this is hot? Are you Apple fans that only want little amounts of change ready to jump on the foldable iPhone bandwagon? That's what I want to know in the comments section down below. Are the Apple fans, the sheep, the ones that don't like too much change, are you ready for what's coming? Let me know in the comments below, because it's happening. You best believe it's going to happen. Apple's not going to just let this lie.
12, the fact that it was actually, believe it or not, as most of you know, Android 12 has just came out in a developer beta. So this is a beta of a beta. And I kind of wanted to do a speed comparison against a phone that's kind of in the same category, which is the iPhone 12. It has a little bit of a better chipset than the Pixel 5 on Android 12, but I wanted to see the smoothness factor and just kind of see how both of these things compare. So this one again is running a beta of a beta. I'll probably do another video of this when the public beta comes out and then when the official version comes out. But let's go and see how both of these compare in a quick little speed test between Android 12 and iOS 14. Now, hopefully I have already cleared out all the apps in the background, and as you can see, I have not for the Pixel 5, so let's go and clear these out. Now let's go and start loading up some basic apps. Let's do their designated app stores. 3, 2, 1. And you can see the Pixel 5 was actually pretty fast there, I'm not going to lie. That was really, really fast. Scrolling through, you can kind of see kind of the same thing. There's not really a crazy amount of difference between them. Hopping out of here, let's do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. And about the same on both, not a big difference. Let's go and I guess start loading up these third-party apps on both. Let's go ahead and do something like, we can do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And of course we have a little bit of a pop-up here, and of course we have a little bit of a pop-up here. So I'm going to go ahead and install this, and I guess we'll come back into it. So Temple Run 2 again, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the iPhone 12 is still faster, and it seemed to be a little bit less glitchy. Again, this is the beta of a beta, so keep that in mind. But the iPhone 12 surely was faster here. The Pixel 5 a bit behind for sure. Let's get into some gameplay and see if there's any glitchiness. I'm sure the gameplay is going to be roughly around the same, but I just want to see if one is glitchier than the other one. And I don't really get that vibe. They both kind of give me the same impression here. So let's hop out of this one. Let's go and do Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And hopefully we don't get any pop-ups or anything like that. And you can still see the iPhone 12 seems to be a little bit faster for sure. And we do get a pop-up here, but they kind of got into their designated next screens about the same time, so not really like a ginormous difference there. Let's do Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And the Pixel 5 actually was faster here on Android 12. iOS 14 a little bit behind, getting into some
iOS. You can have a number, or you can have this notification dot.
Leading platform.
Hey there, my name is Gary Sims and this is Gary Explains. Now, it's been a bit of a tough week for iPhone users as there have been lots of revelations about how insecure the iPhone is. So that sounds pretty bad. So if you want to find out more, please let me explain. Now, before we get cracking, first of all, I want to say that actually this is a video about the iPhone problems that have been revealed this week, but actually this is a much more wider problem that affects iPhones and Android and Windows and so on, and I'll talk more about that towards the end of the video. The first part of this video is actually going to be talking about what was discovered this week that is particularly about the iPhone, and at the end we'll have some more kind of global context, what it means about security for all of us. So Google have a team who work to check the security of all devices that run Google software. So that means Android devices, yes, but it also means iOS devices, it also means Windows, it also means Linux, it also means and so on and so on. And this team, they are a highly skilled bunch of security engineers who work to see what problems exist at a security level in all these different devices. And this week they revealed the details of some problems that they found with the iPhone. Now, these problems were reported to Apple back in February, and Apple will fix them within 7 days. So that's great. However, the problem is that 2 of the 14 vulnerabilities that were found were what's called zero-day exploits. And that means a problem that neither Apple or Google or Microsoft or anyone else knew about, but somebody else did, who was actually writing software to exploit that problem, that bug in the software. And from what it looks like, there were a bunch of websites that Google discovered that have been attacking iPhone users since iOS 10, that's 2016. Now, these websites were constantly being updated with new attacks, and that in itself is a very worrying factor, which
are you talking about those 300? You're talking about apps that into those other places?
Conceivably, but you'd have to go through the cloud. So if Apple security isn't robust enough, yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting transmission mode.
So the cloud connects. Safe.
Andrew, the security guy, has just one quick piece of advice. None of these devices are safe. That's about my extent of mobile security advice, but thanks for having me, brother.
Well, hey, good to have you back, man.
Right on.
Yeah, none of them are safe, but that's...
I mean, safety's an interesting word. So what do we mean by safe?
You're never
they're
safe.
Safe, they're secure, there's identity, there's where's the person at, finding people, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think you can never be completely safe.
Safe. Like, it's going to blow up?
Like, you can't eliminate all the threats in your life. There's no way.
No. All you can do is work to see them coming at you, and then maybe mitigate the vulnerabilities associated.
Layer.
There we go.
Layer your defenses. Right?
Layer your defenses.
Make it so that there's so many layers between you and the threat that they choose somebody else.
Yeah, I route all my calls through Dave's phone.
It's okay. No, Andrew's not here. How can I help?
No, just through it.
I get it. You're just using me as a proxy.
I'm proxy so that the malware stays on your phone, and then I just get the call.
You know, that's a good idea. I should do that to other people.
We could open that up as a service.
Dave's phone, the proxy?
I don't know. They sell everything.
Great app. I'd make $1 million.
I worry about these because we use iPhone at our office. We always have. I don't know how they got chosen. And whereas I know like Samsung has product like Knox sort of baked into the hardware, they've got some security baked into that device, which would be an Android operating system on a Samsung phone, for example. The iPhone's relying on Apple. You know, we're relying on whatever the technology they baked in for security, which apparently is pretty good because, you know, they're thwarting the FBI, those guys, from like someone getting the data that's on the phone, right? These are, what's on your phone? Pictures? What do you got? Your contracts for your will? Or I don't know what people have on their phone.
I'm not going to say it. We're on the air.
When you're already proxied, so yeah. But anyway, so I mean, safety. When we talk about safety, that's the things I think about, right? So what's on the device itself that someone could get? There's owning your device and getting the stuff off it, your contacts maybe or whatever. Then there's the data that might be on it, some documents that you have that are valuable. Maybe you know how you can like capture checks and send them to your bank account. Well, I mean, if somebody could hijack that, for example, like maybe they're sending them to their account and you think they're going to your account. Whatever. There's all that kind of stuff.
That's right about that.
So
let's get back to Android.
Let's talk about Android and iOS again. So let's go keep on with Android.
Okay, so Android, if you bought a Samsung phone, because it's an open source environment, Samsung writes an Android kernel or the operating system specifically customizes it for that Samsung phone.
For their hardware.
For that hardware.
To optimize it.
Right.
Okay.
LG is going to do the same, Google's going to do the same, and so forth. And for this show, I'll just pick on those 3 vendors. I don't want to pick on Microsoft too much. But when you need an update, you know, you go from the Android Jelly Bean to the new Oreo, whatever the update is called, you have to wait for Samsung, the manufacturer, to come out with an update for your phone.
And is that model specific potentially? Like if you had a 2-year-old phone versus a one you just bought? Okay, I got you.
It could be. So some of the older phones, they won't ever produce an update for it.
Because that becomes a waste of money for them. I got you.
Right, and it's also a, what do they call that? Planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
So your older phone can't ever get the Oreo update, so it's less secure, so you go out and buy a new phone.
They're usually pretty free anyway, those phones. It seems like when you
security system, they've gotten onto the system in here, and Pegasus was one of them attacked the phone last year. So we'll talk about that after the break. Let's go away, pay some bills for about a minute, and we'll come right back. Until then, stay safe.
Aloha Call. I am Andrea. I am from Italy, and I've
that it would execute but not show this malware that they
essentially
embedded.
Using Apple's own tools.
Right.
So they took the developer tool and changed that.
Oh.
So when the developer tool Xcode was modified, it actually accepted this new app as okay and applied a signature to it. And when it was uploaded to the App Store, it passed right through Apple Sensor.